This episode of The Construction Record is brought to you by the Greater Toronto Sewer and Water Main Contractors Association. Clean water, our goal, our future.
The Rainbow Kitchen provides a hot lunch meal 5 days a week. We have sometimes 100 to 140 guests there, plus all of our volunteers, and we had one bathroom for everyone, which you can appreciate was rather a challenge. The place needed definitely some TLC.
That's Deborah Hunt, a former board member and founder of the Rainbow Kitchen, a charity on Vancouver Island. On this episode of the Construction Record podcast, we're going to answer the question, who do you call when your charity needs a charity? When your roof is leaking, volunteers are working in cramped rooms, or plumbing isn't up to snuff? Here's Hunt again.
Well, the major issues with that facility, as with a lot of facilities for charities, is that it was in disrepair. It wasn't about to fall down, but we were having difficulty with sort of windows and doors. We were having some issues with the roof leaking. We had fans over the stove that were really just residential stove fans, and things like that were not working. In order to have refrigeration for food, we literally had hand-me-down freezers and fridges that were donated when people did renovations themselves. Most of those were in the basement of the building, and you can appreciate that we had a lot of more senior volunteers, and so going up and down those stairs was an issue. We had a real problem one weekend when one of the big freezers failed, and when we came in on Monday morning, all the food that was in the freezer was spoiled. So that was our situation.
That's where HeroWork comes in. The charity renovates charity facilities using volunteers, many of them from the construction sector. Here's HeroWork's founder as he tours the facility before crews get to work.
There's a fair bit of work to be done. You can see that they keep it really clean. But despite keeping it clean all the time, the floor is at the edge of its lifespan. It's cracking, it's peeling, it needs to be replaced. It's a lot of flooring in here that needs to be done. You can see up here that the beams up there, they're rotting. Some of those beams need to be replaced. We've got some fans in the ceilings that will bring the heat down. We want to put those in there.
Little experience in construction or renovations, Paul Latour started HeroWork by simply wanting to help a friend. The result is a charity that has done millions of dollars worth of free construction.
HeroWork got started almost on a whim. I had a friend with MS and she needed some help. And I thought, I could probably get 20 friends together, help my friend. And in the beginning planning processes for this, I thought, well, maybe I could do like a mini extreme makeover. I put a plan together, brought it to a friend of mine. She thought, wow, this is cool. I want to be involved. 6 days later, we were a team of 6. 7 weeks later, we had 27 companies, 65 volunteers, 10 rotating musical acts, did a $25,000 renovation in a single day with $380. And the short story of that is that changed my life, sent me down a new trajectory. Over time became HeroWork. And so now we're a charity that renovates other charities through what we call radical renovations, or which are kind of like a modern day barn raising, where we bring the entire community, generally over 100 companies, 300 to 500 volunteers, to renovate these charities, these community hubs, at a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the time.
Latour noted that the construction sector plays a key role in pulling off the renovations.
The people in the construction industry, they're the people that build our streets and our homes and our buildings. And the type of buy-in, community spirit, and caring that they have shown through our projects has blown consistently year after year from the beginning all the way to where we are right now. Everybody who shows up at our sites, whether they're a professional or trade or sub-trade or a project manager, whatever they are, they come with a mindset of service. They come with a mindset of making our community stronger, of having an impact on those people that haven't had, haven't been held a good hand in life. And so I've got nothing but great things to say about the industry, about people that come to bear on these projects, about companies that get involved, individuals that get involved. And we try to really provide them with a great experience when they come in. We elevate in our projects the status of the trades. They're celebrated when they come in. They've got special trade T-shirts that only they get. And all of our general volunteers and the people that are on site there, are so happy and so excited to see these people that bring that range of experience and expertise to bear. And the impact that they have is astounding, even in the short time that they're involved in the project.
Our new entrance is right on schedule. We've got the new framing for our opening and our new beams going up. And all the way through our new exit to this amazing renovation.
That's Vance Smith, a professional draftsman, as he helps out on our HeroWork job site. Smith found HeroWork online when he was looking for a way to use his construction skills to help his community.
Actually, it was a Facebook ad, simply a post saying we're about to do this project, and it's one of HeroWork's first projects they did, sort of on a larger scale, their original mustard seed project. And for a long time, I had been looking for a way to volunteer. I had done overseas volunteer work for other kinds of building projects, but nothing locally, and it always felt like, I wanted to help our community. I wanted to help in a way, but how does some of that draftsman help our community? It's kind of a difficult way to get connected with helping people. I've always been a draftsman. I've been draftsman for 32 years now, but I've built a couple homes. I've been involved in house design. I've been involved in a lot of renovation projects on my own and with friends, and that sort of thing. And when I started out in the industry, I was in working with iron workers, putting up steel, spud wrenches, and drilling holes in concrete. So I've always been around that kind of construction, so very familiar with it, as well as doing site inspections. So I'm always out on site, reviewing work and interacting with tradesmen. So it's a comfortable situation. I mean, on the front end, I do the help with the structural drawings and putting that package together to get permits for the city. We have architectural firms. Christine Mentot helps us out tremendously on getting the architectural drawings together and doing code review. So, we help in the specialties that we're good at. Because HeroWork, how would they be able to get that stuff done? They'd have to go out and pay for those services. So again, it's a way we can help out. I drive by some of these buildings that I've worked on over the past 5 years through HeroWork, and it's like, wow, we made a difference. And it's not just, I made a difference, but that building, that charity is making a huge impact in our town and serving our community members so well because they have this renovation. I can only imagine the need across Canada of some of these charities that do such good in some communities that are really hurting. And if they had a facility that could help them, and it's often I look at, I'm a draftsman. I'm not a social worker. I'm not a counselor. I don't know how to help these people that, maybe have lost their job. They're on the borderline of being homeless, or they've got food insecurities, or, they have all these needs. I can't help. There's no way I can do that kind of stuff, but I can do what I do in my trade to help the people that can, and to lift up those counselors, to lift up those frontline workers and give them a facility that enables them to do their job better. That's powerful. And when those people see that the community is helping them, it empowers them to do more. And most of the time, these are all volunteers. These are all just people giving of their time to volunteer. And it's such a huge need in our society in Canada.
When the sounds of hammers, drills, mixers, and saws are gone, the impact on charities like the Rainbow Kitchen remains.
For the volunteers, they got a vastly improved space in which to do their work, to do their volunteer work. The preparing of the meals, the serving of the meals, the cleaning up after meals, the accepting of donations of food, all of that type of thing. But most especially, it was for our guests to see the folks that had been coming for meals, sometimes just very infrequently, but we had a lot of people, and still do, who are regulars. They come perhaps every day, 5 days a week, for their meal, because it's their place where they get to meet people and socialize and get a good meal. But for them, it was, I must be worth something. I must be valuable because this community came together to help me. So there was this sense of being worthy, not to the point that, oh, I have to be, groveling and thankful for things. It's just, I'm a good person. I'm a valuable person. I'm an okay person. And all these people really have validated that.
With his success on Vancouver Island and charities in desperate need all over the country, Latour is working on an ambitious plan to replicate the HeroWork process.
When I first started this, I had this idea that if I could put on an event like this, no experience, no money, working in a restaurant, and I bet you other people could as well. So one of the things that inspired me at the beginning was thinking about, I bet you if we could make a system that could train and teach other people to do what we're doing here, then that could really have an impact. Taken many years to develop the charity and develop the systems, but right now we're putting together HeroWork Canada, which is the training and facilitation arm for the charities. So we are like let's call it a charitable social franchise model, where we will go into a community, bring together a small team of people and give them the systems, the step-by-steps, the processes, the appendixes, the mentoring, and the training for them to do what we're doing here in Victoria. So, for example, we're now looking at the lower mainland of BC, from Vancouver to Surrey. We'll choose a geographical region to install one of these chapters. So within that region, they'll start to renew charities like we're doing here in Victoria. Our end goal is to have 10 chapters in the next 10 years. So it's a bit audacious from where we started, but it's exciting. And this need for charity renewal, we believe, is in every town and city. We've done a survey here of the market in Victoria, and we found things like over half of the buildings are over 60 years old. 38% of charities either urgently or very urgently need a renovation. Over 50% of charities can deliver more and have bigger impact if they have better buildings. So this tells me that infrastructure, charitable infrastructure, is a system that impacts the entire charitable sector and the neighborhoods and the communities and the cities in which they're in. So we're excited to pursue this vision and this dream in the years ahead.
If you or someone you know would like to get involved with HeroWork, visit HeroWork.com and they have all their contact information there. Latour said they're always looking for materials or volunteers of all skill levels. I'm Russell Hixson, staff writer at the Journal of Commerce, and thank you for listening to this special edition of the Construction Record podcast. Hope to see you next week.
This episode of the Construction Record is brought to you by the Ontario Sewer and Water Main Construction Association. Clean water is everybody's business.